All right, Twitter facing more chaos in the new year. Bloomberg reporting at least a dozen more staff cuts at Twitter on the global content moderation side of the business. And workers already laid off from the company are reportedly not getting the severance that they were promised. Employees detailing to Forbes and Wired the lack of communication from Twitter about their severance deals. To add to the mayhem, our next guest is saying that Twitter's new verification system to get that blue check mark doesn't work. Jeff Fowler, Washington Post, a technology columnist, joining us back here. Jeff, it's great to see you again. So this new updated verification system certainly has been or seemed to have been a priority for Musk. Issues with it. This is the second time that you were able to impersonate Senator Markey. Walk us through how you were able to do it and the biggest issues with this problem.
Yeah. Oops, I did it again, I guess you might say. What I did was I wanted to test the claim by Elon Musk that his new Twitter Blue verification system would be, to use his words from a tweet, manually authenticated before they would give out a checkmark to an account. So they said really they were going to build trust back into Twitter with this. So I said, okay, let's check that. So once he launched this in December, I went about trying to make a fake account for Senator Edward Markey from Massachusetts and get a check mark for it. Now, I got permission from Senator Markey to try to impersonate him. And indeed, Twitter had put some new barriers up in place. They made me wait a little bit longer, but at the end of the day, I was still able to do it. I was still able to get the account Senator Ed Markey verified. At no point did Twitter ask me to show them an ID or to show them an email or really do anything to prove my identity other than hand them $8 for the check mark.
At what point did they realize it wasn't genuine? And what does it say about Elon Musk's overall management of the platform?
They realized it when I published it in the Washington Post and then deactivated the account. The same thing happened back in November when I tried this experiment for the first time with Senator Markey and a comedian. They realized it after I published about it in the Post. Look, Twitter can say impersonating accounts is against our rules and we'll shut them down. But it is 2023 and it is not good enough to just say something is against the rules when it comes to the trust and safety of a social network. We know that disinformation has real world consequences. And so we have every reason to expect that Twitter is going to do better with this, especially when they're charging now people $8 or $11 if you're using an iPhone for this privilege.
So, Jeff, considering all this, the lack of ability really to weed out some of the impersonation that is going on the platform right now, from the consumer aspect of things, are you expecting a backlash, or how much do you think the consumer cares about something like this?
I think we didn't really talk about it that much before Elon Musk came along. But one of the things that made Twitter into the cultural icon that it is that it became the official place on the internet for people to post apologies, right? And you could go on Twitter and you could see if there was like the screenshot of the Notes app of somebody saying, oh, I shouldn't have done something or whatever. And you could trust that it came from them. You could trust that if a government agency was talking on Twitter, that it actually was them, or if a corporation was there talking. Under Elon's leadership, Twitter is destroying some of that trust that we have. And that to me just is part of eroding the value of Twitter for its users. I know that since Elon Musk joined, I haven't, quit it in a huff yet, but I'm still using it less because I think the chances are higher than ever that I'm going to see some information that's completely fabricated, tries to mislead me, and not have any way to know any better.
So we're understanding that long tweets, really long, could be rolled out next month. Some say up to 4,000 characters. What would be the impact of that? And Jeff, you've followed this platform a long time. In any way, has Elon Musk improved the platform or the experience on Twitter?
Well, as for the longer tweets, okay, maybe. I mean, I'm a journalist and I write very long stories, but it's not something that I've been, holding out, waiting for. So I guess maybe some people might want it, but that's not going to give me a reason to want to spend $8 a month on Twitter. In terms of other changes, again, I really haven't seen Elon Musk focus on the things that I think would really be useful for people. For example, he keeps claiming that that Twitter Blue is going to reduce the number of ads for users or make them more targeted or more useful, I guess. But all I've seen as a user is the number of ads on Twitter skyrocket, go through the roof. It seems like every third tweet I look at now is an ad, and that's not a great experience. So I think one of the challenges that Elon Musk faces is he doesn't really do market research. He doesn't really listen to his users other than these polls that he does every once in a while. He seems to think that he's got all the ideas and all the answers, and that can be a really dangerous form of leadership when it comes to designing products that you want people to pay for.
Jeff, well, speaking of leadership, Elon Musk has said multiple times that he does plan to step down as CEO of Twitter and really focus most of his efforts on Tesla. What do you think about that transition, what that could potentially look like, and whether or not you think Elon Musk is really going to be able to take that more so hands-off approach?
So I'm also a Tesla driver. And gosh, I hope he turns his attention back to Tesla because they just pushed through a really awful software update for the UI. I mean, can you believe that it's 2023 once again, and a car company is continually moving around the buttons that you need to operate the car? That's not a good thing to do. That really, again, not listening to their users, to their drivers, to their owners about the conveniences that they want, and really just trying to follow their own path. So look, maybe Elon will do this, but then you got to kind of wonder, why did he buy this thing in the first place? If he, and does he really have the ability to hand over the reins to somebody else? I don't know. His personality has not shown that that's necessarily something he can do. What I really worry about is that Twitter used to be a place where you could go to kind of find information and be maybe surprised by something or delighted. And it seems like, again, ever since Elon took over, it's become a social network about Elon Musk. So much of the conversation there is about him. And I don't care. I don't want to talk about him anymore. I want to go back to a Twitter where I got to sort of see cool things and explore new ideas. And that was far less about politics and people attacking each other and tribalism. I just think he doesn't have the right ideas about how normal people really want to use this thing.
Certainly has gotten tiring. Not a day, it seems like, goes by where we don't mention Elon Musk, Twitter, or Tesla at least once during the show. So I'm right there with you. Jeff Fowler, great to have you. Thank you.